Section 15. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended except in cases of invasion or rebellion when the public safety requires it. Habeas corpus is a legal remedy that protects the individual's rights to personal liberty. It is a Latin term that means you shall have the body. The writ of habeas corpus is a court order that requires a person who is detained or imprisoned to be brought before a court or judge, along with evidence justifying their detention. This prevents arbitrary detention and protects individuals from unlawful imprisonment. Section 15 establishes a general rule that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus cannot be suspended. However, it provides two specific situations where suspension is allowed. In case of invasion or rebellion, when the public safety requires it. This limitation ensures that the government cannot easily deprive individuals of their liberty without proper legal process, except under extreme circumstances threatening public safety. Preventing unlawful arrest. Imagine an individual is apprehended by law enforcement without proper legal justification or a valid arrest warrant. In such case, the person or someone acting on their behalf can file a petition for a writ of habeas corpus. This legal remedy allows the court to inquire into the legality of detention, compelling law enforcement to present the detained person before the court. Protecting against arbitrary detention. If a person is detained for an extended period without formal charges or legal basis, the writ of habeas corpus becomes a crucial tool. This prevents authorities from holding individuals without sufficient evidence or legal justification, reinforcing the principle that everyone is entitled to a fair and timely trial. Section 15 is about ensuring that everyone's freedom is protected, except in extreme situations. It says that the government cannot stop a legal order called habeas corpus, which helps prevent unfair arrest, unless there is a very serious problem like invasion or rebellion threatening public safety. So it sets a rule to balance individuals' freedom and the need for safety in extraordinary circumstances. In summary, the writ of habeas corpus is a crucial element of the Philippines legal system, offering protection against arbitrary detention and ensuring that individual liberties are upheld even in times of crisis. Its application in various scenarios reflects its essential role in maintaining the rule of law and safeguarding the rights of Filipino citizens. Section 15 is about ensuring that everyone's freedom is protected, except in extreme situations.
The 1987 Philippines Constitution, Article 3, Bill of Rights, Section 16. All persons shall have the right to speedy disposition of their cases before all judicial, quasi-judicial, or administration body. It means incarceration without changes of political prisoner include no person shall be detained solely by reason of his political belief, and government shall not treat any person in discriminatory manners in respect of his right under the part of Constitution. The application of his right in our daily lives ensure that individuals are not unduly burdened by lengthy legal processes. It contributes to sense of justice being served promptly, reinforcing public trust in legal system.
Good day, sir. My name is Joanna Marie Pibignatia from BSHM 3A, and I am assigned to discuss the Article 3, Section 17 of Bill of Rights, that no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. So, first question is, what is the section all about? So, Article 3, Section 17 of the Bill of Rights in the Philippine Constitution is about the right against self-incrimination. It means that no person can be forced to testify against himself in any legal proceedings. This right is designed to protect individuals from being manipulated or coerced into providing testimonies that could lead to their own conviction. The second question is how it is applied and used in our daily lives. In everyday life, this right is most commonly applied in interaction with law enforcement or illegal proceedings. Let's say, for instance, you found a lost wallet full of money and took it home. Later, the police question you about a reported lost wallet. Even if you feel guilty, you have the right to remain silent because anything you say might incriminate you. This doesn't mean you're free from legal consequences, but it does protect you from being compelled to admit guilt. Okay, remember, it's always important to consult with a legal professional in real situation as they can provide advice tailored to the specific circumstances.
Hello everyone, this is Riley Romero, and for today's video, I will be discussing to you about the Article 3, Section 18 in the 1987 Philippines Constitution, which is the Bill of Rights. So, in Article 3, Section 18, number 1, no person shall be detained solely because of his political beliefs and aspirations. Number 2, no involuntary servitude in any form shall exist except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. No person shall be detained solely because of their political beliefs and aspirations. This provision emphasizes the importance of protecting individuals from being held in custody simply due to their political views, affirming the principle of the political freedom. Number 2. No involuntary servitude in any form shall exist except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. This provision reinforces of prohibition against slavery or forced labor and ensures that any form of compulsory labor is only imposed as a legal document. In summary of Article 3, Section 8 is designed to safeguard the rights and dignity of individuals under investigation, ensuring that they are not detained arbitrarily, subjected to torture, or deprived of a basic rights during the legal process. It underscores the principle of due process, protection against inhumane treatment, and prohibition of detention without charges. So, in Article 3, Section 18, I have here some outline ways on how we can apply and use legal rights. Number 1 is our legal protection. In daily life, this means that people are less likely to face unwarranted arrest or detention simply because of their political views. So if giving a situation where it's expressing your beliefs or the political beliefs, like if one of the candidates were helping, then if the government didn't like, it's okay because that's your opinion. The government will not easily arrest you or what we call cut your attention because that's your opinion. Everyone shall have the right to choose what's best for them, for me personally, because Section 18 said that no person shall be detained solely because of their political beliefs and aspirations. So lastly, the right to due process. The provision of detention without charges and the inadmissibility of illegally obtained confessions reinforce the right to due process. In practical terms, this means that individuals have the right to know the charges against them, have access to legal representation, and are protected from coerced confessions. So, if given a situation where personally I am getting arrested, I have the right to remain silent and get a lawyer to defend me, to defend my right legally, and I have the right to know my charges that I include, if whether I am innocent or not, because person really have the right to speak for themselves and the right to have the right due process. So to prove it that you are innocent and have the right to remain silent and get a right due process, just go to Article 3, Section 18 and read it. And
Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 19. This passage is likely a constitution or legal provision emphasizing certain protection and restriction related to fines, punishment, and the treatment of prisoners. Number 1. Excessive fines and cruel, degrading, or inhuman punishment. Cruel, degrading, or inhuman punishment is also prohibited, safeguarding individuals from mistreatment that goes against human dignity. Death penalty limitation. If the death penalty has already been imposed, it shall be reduced to reclusion or reclusion perpetua, which typically refers to life imprisonment. Number 3. Prohibition of certain punishment. This passage prohibits the employment of physical, physiological, or degrading punishment against any prisoners or detainee. This protects individuals from abusive or harmful treatment during their detention or imprisonment. Number 4. Standards for penal facilities. This ensures that prisoner or detention centers must meet certain standards to avoid subjecting prisoners to conditions that are inhuman, degrading. In this section 19, it reflects a commitment to protecting individuals from excessive fines, cruel or inhuman punishment, and degrading treatment. It also establishes limitations on the use of the death penalty and sets standards for the treatment of prisoners and the conditions in penal facilities. The mention of legal consequences underscores the importance of upholding these principles through enforceable laws.
My name is April Jane Torsar, and I will present to you the Republic of the Philippines 1987 Constitution. Article 3, Bill of Rights, Section 20, it states that no person shall be imprisoned for not paying their death and non-payment poll tax. This provision is enshrined in the Constitution as one of the human rights. This is to prevent the passage of the legislations that makes non-payment of debt and poll tax illegal. Article 3, Section 20, under the Bill of Rights is what I have selected because many people can associate with this situation. Numerous people have been in a situation where they have to be in debt due to the fact that it is the easiest way to get the necessary money. However, paying the money back is presumably the most troublesome thing to do. Indeed, a debtor who refuses to pay owes a severe penalty and should be sentenced to jail for his heinous behavior. Is it possible for a debtor to go to jail for an unpaid debt? So these amendments, as this provision, as part of the Bill of Rights, are significant to everyone in order to protect the basic right of the Filipino citizen and to limit the power of the local state against the citizen. Specifically, no one can be imprisoned for not paying their debt. The creditor's recourse is civil in nature. Therefore, people making threats to file against the debtor who failed to pay is futile, as it is under the Bill of Rights that no one can be imprisoned for death, except when fraud is involved in a case. Generally, this provision protects the right of an individual. The prohibitions on imprisonment only apply to death and non-payment poll tax, and a person can still be imprisoned if fraud is involved or if BP 22 or the bouncing check law provisions are violated. Even if a debtor issues check for the settlement of debt in violations of BP 22, he can still be detained under the statute. Furthermore, poll tax excludes internal revenue and other taxes, implying that a taxpayer who failed to pay his taxes will be charged and imprisoned. How is it applied and used in our daily lives? As a daughter of a farmer, it is not easy for us to enter college, especially when there are 3 of us studying. Sometimes it is necessary to be in debt for school expenses in order to pay. But one thing I know is that my father pays in debt when he has money because it is the right thing to do and also to avoid trouble. So I believe in saying that ang utang ay dapat bayaran at hindi kinakalimutan. This is how the 1987 Constitution, Article 3, Bill of Rights, under Section 20 works.
Section 21 of Article 3 of the Philippine 1987 Constitution is all about protection against double jeopardy. Double jeopardy refers to the principle that a person cannot be tried or punished twice for the same offense. According to the section, it is an act that punishable by both national law and a local ordinance. A conviction of acquittal under either the law or the ordinance prevent another prosecution for the same act. In other words, once a person has been convicted or acquitted for a particular act, they cannot be subjected to another trial or punishment that the same act. This provision ensures that the individual are protected from being subjected to repeated prosecution or punishment, which would violate their rights and could lead to potential abuse by authorities. Suppose there is a person named John who is accused of stealing a valuable item from a store. John is arrested and brought to trial. After a thorough investigation and presentation of evidence, the court finds John not guilty due to insufficient evidence. In this case, the principles of double jeopardy comes into play. Since John has been acquitted for the offense of stealing valuable item, he cannot be tried again for same offense, regardless of any new evidence that emerged later. This protection ensures that John is not subjected to multiple trials and potential harassment by the legal system.
Article 3, Section 22 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution states that no ex post facto bill or law of attainder shall be enacted. This means that the government cannot pass a law that retroactively punishes an act as a crime or imposes punishment without a fair trial. It ensures that individuals are protected from being penalized for an action that was not considered illegal at the time it was committed. This section safeguards the principle of fairness and due process in the legal system. An ex post facto law is a law that retroactively changes the legal consequences or punishment for an action. A bill of attainder is a legislative act that declares a person or a group of people guilty of a crime without a fair trial. For example, let's say a new law is passed that criminalizes uncertain behavior, but the law was not retroactive. This means that individuals who engage in that behavior before the law was enacted cannot be prosecuted or punished for it. This means it prevents the government from passing retroactive criminal laws or bills of attainder, guaranteeing that individuals are not punished for actions that were illegal when committed. This provision upholds the principles of justice, due process, and the rule of law, contributing to a just and stable society.